I am Slick Nick, and I am the living legend, and these are 3 reasons why I rebooted my channel recently. The first reason, and you know me, I'm always real with you, it's because of the money. I was so upfront with everybody the whole time when I was making videos about the other topic. I'm doing this because of the ads that play before the videos. I'm making money, and that's why I keep making so many videos, because YouTube rewards people who make a lot of content, not necessarily good content. And I knew that formula. I knew the algorithm. So for nearly 4 years straight, I fed into that machine. And yes, it got me 7,000 subscribers, but ultimately, what it got me was, I'm looking at about $300 a month on this channel, which, hey, that's great. It's great to get $300 per month just for making videos for YouTube. Ones that I don't even edit, I just hit record. That's great. But keep in mind that the amount of money I make now compared to what money I made a couple of years ago when I started this channel, let's put it this way. My salary alone is 63% higher than it was just a couple of years ago. So it used to matter more that I'd make, and at the time maybe $100 a month. But the money I'm bringing in from my full-time job is so high now that $300 a month isn't that big of a deal to me as far as to keep feeding the machine. So it's not worth it for the money. Not for talking about something I never cared about to begin with. I've said it before, I was simply an actor playing a part. It'd be like a TV show that you're used to seeing run for several seasons and you like it, and then at the peak of the popularity, when they could have continued, they stopped the show. And ultimately that's what I did, because I was an actor the whole time. I knew that people would watch as long as I talked about that one topic. But even now, $300 a month to talk about that, I don't care enough to pretend to play that part anymore. I don't care enough to read those comments about the same subject over and over. And that leads us to number 2. The number 2 reason. It played its course. Think about this. And I'm not kidding. I mean, in the course of nearly 4 years, I made clearly, definitely, undeniably over 2,600 videos about the same topic. And about a year ago, it became very obvious to me that this channel was a parody of itself. That ultimately, I was answering the same questions, making the same video at least 5 times. And because I gained new subscribers, they didn't really notice it, but I did. And I thought, I'm not saying anything new, but yet I've got 2,600 videos or plus more about the same stuff that I don't care about to begin with. So the time had come, and that's great about the 7,000 subscribers, but there was no point to continue talking about the same thing when ultimately, even with new viewers and new subscribers asking me questions, instead of leaving a comment asking the question, all you have to do is go in the search box of my channel and ask that question there, and you're going to see about 5 videos that already answer that question. So it ran its course, and I didn't want to continue to play that part when, if I already made 5 videos, why make 8? Is really what it comes down to. But the third reason why I decided to reboot my channel is because I'm happy. I'm very happy now that I don't do videos about what I used to do about. Notice I'm very careful not even to talk about. I'm only loosely referencing the fact that I used to talk about something that I refuse to talk about now. And I'm so happy. In fact, the least happy I've been since I rebooted is in this video, because I'm even having to loosely reference that thing that I never cared about to begin with. I'm so happy to be making videos now. I get to talk about my Jeep. I get to have conversations with other people. And that's the thing. Ultimately, I've referenced it many times, but Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. when you're at the very bottom, you're caring more about your basic needs. And for me, at first, it was making money off this channel. And then as I climbed the pyramid, I was like, okay, well, man, I'm successful. I've got 1,000 subscribers. Okay, well, where do I keep climbing? And it got to the point where I thought, 7,000 subscribers for this thing I never cared about to begin with. And again, money's not an issue anymore. So it's not like I'm really eager for $300 a month. So I'm like, I was at the top of the pyramid. I'm like, well, I might as well do videos about stuff I actually want to talk about. Even if it's not that appealing to my audience, maybe only parts of my audience will really ring into certain things I have to talk about. Maybe only certain people will care about when I talk about the process of getting a Jeep, or only certain people will care about when I talk about the concept of what it means to be more of a masculine man and those things. You get to sort of pick and choose what you want to hear me talk about now. And there's more variety. And my goal is ultimately to cater to a larger audience at the end of this thing, because I'm talking about different things that I actually care about, that I actually find interesting. And that thing before I never found interesting. I was just an actor playing a part. So what happens when you take away the money as the inspiration? You get the reboot. And it's interesting because last week was the first full week where I never talked about the thing that I used to talk about. And I did notice for the first time in years, I lost about a dozen subscribers. That was after I hit 7,000 subscribers. After I was committed to this thing, no more talking about what I used to talk about, it dropped by about a dozen. That was the first time I've seen that in years. But what's funny is, a couple of days later, I was back to climbing the charts again, and now I'm, at 7,100. So, and I understand that my subscribership is still growing based off of the 2,600 videos that I made before. But what's interesting is, if you're a new subscriber now, you're realizing that my videos aren't focused on what they were before. So it's really interesting. Maybe by the end of 2019, we'll all discover, how's this thing gonna work in the long run? Whereas I've got this library of 2,600 videos about a thing I don't care about and people are subscribing for, but then they watch my newer stuff, and the closest you can get is me getting a haircut and saying, hey, here's my new haircut. Or somebody asking, hey, how do you style your hair? And I'll make that video. But that's not really what I talked about before. To me, that fits into the idea of what I want to do, is to have open conversations about really the modern American concept of masculinity. And I think there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, here's the haircut that's working for me, because I'm not reducing it back to that thing I used to talk about. To me, that's totally different, and that's relevant. And I think the people who are so eager to hear me talk about the thing that I won't talk about anymore, they can still at least have a glimpse of what I used to do. But again, because somebody said, well, isn't that disrespectful to have these subscribers that you've gathered here and they're expecting you to talk about this thing? That was the whole purpose of your channel. Well, here's what I'm gonna say. What difference does it make if I don't make any videos about that anymore in the future, when there's 2,600 videos that you can go back to? I would have to think very few viewers have watched all 2,600 videos about that dedicated topic. So I think the challenge becomes, if you're really that into the topic I used to talk about, again, go to the search box on my channel, type in any question you want to know about that, and find 5 videos that I've already made over the course of the last 4 years. That's what a library I've got about that topic. So if that's what you're into, just go back into the past. And if you're, and the whole time there were so many viewers and subscribers who were as eager as I was to hear me talk about something else. And so finally you're getting to see, quote, here's the cliche, the real me. Imagine for me, again, actor, complete actor, only was doing this for the money. But what happened is, a byproduct is, I started kind of honing my skills and being pretty good at communicating and making videos and engaging people. So I've taken that experience, and now I'm focusing on things I actually care about. If I take away that one topic that so many people reduce me to, and you got to see what I actually cared about and what I actually wanted to talk about, and bringing people on and us talking about other things, would you still care? Would you still like me? Would you still accept me if you saw me for who I really was? and heard me talk about things I actually cared about. So for me, I've graduated from what I used to do. And now that money isn't an issue anymore, it's not an inspiration for the $300. But what's funny is, even with me not talking about the thing, I'm still easily making over $300 a month from my videos. I get to chart it every day, and I thought, and I'm willing to lose money over this. I definitely am. But the thing is, I'm not. I'm actually still gaining subscribers, still making money. So it's interesting because in real time, you get to see this channel evolve. You get to see these conversations evolve. And you get to decide for yourself, am I going to hang on? Am I going to keep watching these videos? Or did I really only value Nick Shell for that one topic? Is he still worth watching if he's not talking about the one thing that so many people are obsessed with? And that's a personal decision you're going to make. And I'm not begging anyone to stay here. In fact, if you don't like the new stuff I'm talking about, if you're not happy for me that I finally got a Jeep and I'm so excited about this, then just tune out. Do whatever makes you happy, because finally I'm getting to do what makes me happy. And that's talking about whatever I want to talk about and not talking about the thing that I was known for. Comments? They belong right here.